Hello, Steve White, Steve Arts 89. Well, I haven't seen all of Black Mirror. I've just seen a few episodes from random seasons, just on TV. They have it on ABC and they have it on ABC iView, and often I just go to check and see what's on ABC iView, and I remember Black Mirror is there. I always forget to look for it, but when I do go looking, I usually find it, and it's like there's like 2 episodes because they usually only sit there for a couple of weeks. But there was 2 there when I looked yesterday, and I watched both of them. One was called Rachel, Jack and Ashley 2. I'm not quite sure what that is a reference to. It's the episode that Miley Cyrus is in. And I was kind of surprised to see Miley Cyrus in an episode of Black Mirror. And she starts off as this really cookie cutter little pop icon with the pink hair and, the outfits and the routines. And it's all very contrived, but in real life she's miserable. She wants to actually do real music. She's just, stuck in this machine of having to keep pumping out this merchandise and this image and this look and what the fans want and everything. Auntie's a manager and she's got her on doped up because she's supposedly has medical problems, but I think actually she faked that and she's like not supposed to be on the medication because eventually she stops taking a medication. She's just storing it, and she wasn't sure what she was doing with it. I think she was going to use it against them to show that they were basically drugging her, and that would get her out of her contract because she's in a absolutely, steel-clad contract that she can't get out of till she's 25 and she has to keep performing, kind of like Britney Spears in a way. And she was saving this stuff to use as evidence. They thought maybe she was saving it to try and, do something else with, so she wouldn't have to deal with all of this stuff. But then what happens is the aunt, who is just evil, is just unbelievably evil, she took all the medication, ground it up and put it in her food. And while she's talking to her, she keeps standing up and she says, sit down. And it's like 3 times in the last time she does sit down. I'm like, does she have some sort of mind control over her? And then you realise she's getting groggy and she tells her, she opens the tin that had the pills in it, it's now empty. She said, I ground them all up and put them in your meal. So you're basically going to lose consciousness. You won't die. You'll be in a coma. And you're going to keep working for me, basically. And she dies, or she collapses, and you think that she's brain dead. And there's a couple of girls one's a fan, 2 sisters, one hates her and the other one loves her, and she gets this little doll. I think it's I forgot the name of the pop star. Is it Ashley? I think it's Ashley. Ashley 2, and it's like a little robot of her. It's got like pink hair and kind of looks like a Lego in some way, like a little Lego figure. It's like that basic sort of little robot figure, and it's got her algorithm. They scanned her whole brain, and it's basically her personality, and it talks back to them and it asks you questions, and it's like having a friend. And this girl's very lonely. Her mother died. They've moved to another area. She doesn't have any friends, and she is encouraged to try like a talent contest, doing a routine of Ashley's, and she doesn't do that well. She falls, and she just feels really bad, and her sister's nasty to her. She's like, this is just some silly pop thing. It's just, it's bad for you. So she hides the doll. And then what happens is they break the doll, basically the doll goes crazy, and they look into it and they realise that it's got the whole brain algorithm in there, but it's got like a circuit that stops and makes sure it only uses part of its function. And once they release that, it's like she's alive again in the doll, and she's like, my manager killed me, blah, 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 all this stuff. And it convinces them to take the doll to the residence that they're at, so she wants to actually pull the plug and end herself because she doesn't want to keep going on in a coma. And she does actually pull the plug, and they're like, why did you do that? You lied to us. And they're like, well, you wouldn't have helped me if you knew what I wanted to do. And then she wakes up because she doesn't actually die, because she was in the coma, but she was being kept in the coma, I think. And the weirdest thing about it is, it's very sci-fi that goes a bit too far. They were going into her brain scans and getting the music that she was still dreaming about and writing, and they were actually producing songs after she was dead and still using her to continue to make music and sell records and merchandise and stuff. And eventually they create a hologram that's based on her, and they're like, she's still going to tour forever. She's like, Ashley Eternal or something. And at that point, they basically knock out one of the guards and basically rescue her. They drive into this arena that's full of fans who are seeing the reveal of this hologram performer, and then crash the car in the middle of the stage basically, and she gets out and gives her auntie the finger, and it's all over. And then she just gets to be like a little indie rock chick. And the end of the video is her basically performing in a little club that she did look at earlier in the episode, wishing she could just be a girl in a club just with a little bar, like that sort of intimate sort of setting. And you see a couple of her fans from the concert we saw earlier leaving, like, oh God, this is horrible. This is not the Ashley we sort of grew up with. And that's the episode. I just thought it was really clever and worked really well, and Miley did a good job of acting and also sort of playing on her own persona, being this little Disney puppet that sort of did her own sort of thing in a way, and wants to be more of a musician, which is always the conflict artists have with sticking to the commercial, what works, versus, continuing to explore themselves as an artist. So I really enjoyed it. It was good. I'm going to go. Feel free to share, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think of Black Mirror. I need to catch up. I've only seen like 5 or 6 episodes out of like 5 seasons.